Hello and welcome to AfterWyrd, where we tell our weird news, strange stories, and any other psychobabble that comes out of our heads. I'm Andy,
I'm Craig. Funnily enough, you say psychobabble. Do you know what? I have this weird thing sometimes where I get a word stuck in my head.
and has psychobabble been stuck in your head?
Close. There's a word been stuck in my head and I had to Google it to find out what it meant. It's
Go on.
psychopomp.
Psychopomp, yeah, that's a monster in D&D, isn't it?
Psychopomp is a creature, spirit, angel, or deity whose role is to guide the souls of the dead to the afterlife.
That's the one. I knew it was some kind of made-up creature.
I've
Um,
no idea why that's stuck in my head, but yeah, you just reminded me of that. It's been all week I've been thinking psychopomp. Where does that word come from? And
so what you're saying is you've got a creature that is supposed to like take you to the afterlife stuck in your head.
I think it's you.
Yeah, that's it. That's why people, sort of are. Those who do watch us is why they watch. It's just you talking to yourself in like funny, different voices. It's
I
like
keep changing seats.
that.
So before we go into like weird news and stuff, I just wanted
Yeah,
to quickly like talk about some stuff from the Triangles episode. Um, because I was a bit lazy and I forgot to tally how many people actually go missing. Because I was thinking partway through that, I was thinking it's a lot of people missing here.
yeah. That's yeah. What's the
So,
tally?
well, I ran the script through Bard, so I haven't checked this, but Bard is saying 1,477 people are in that script that go missing.
Okay,
But then some of those are incidents where we don't specify how many people were on the plane or the ship, right? So
so the
so
number's
that's only
higher.
the specific number that we've mentioned,
Yeah,
which is a lot of people. I know you're talking hundreds of years, but still.
and by bard, Craig means his abacus in the corner, just switching them across.
No, I've got a bard. He sits in the corner and sings me songs.
Yeah, he gave you the number. He gave you the number in like the in poetry and song in verse.
Yeah, that's it. And just to quickly tie off, I mentioned I might do a little ghost ship teaser for the episode we might one day do.
Oh, go on then.
So I'm going to take this straight from the book because I wasn't planning to do this. So it says an incident reminiscent of the Flying Dutchman legend occurred north of the Ogasawara Island chain in January 1989 when a whaling ship encountered and almost collided with a ketch that was sailing erratically on the whaler's course. There seemed to be someone at the wheel, but when Captain Morio Sakagami and several others climbed aboard the ketch, they made a grisly discovery. So they found that the helmsman was a partially decomposed corpse, half standing and loosely fastened to the wheel. He appeared to have been dead for
Damn.
several weeks prior to the time that the crew members of the whaler came aboard. No other members of the dead man's crew were found, although the ketch should have had a crew of 4 or 5. The dead man apparently died from a wound inflicted by the cutlass, which was still sticking between his ribs.
Mm.
The scabbard of the cutlass lay on the deck. A single word was written on it in blood, the word depths. On the cutlass itself, a name had been etched, Bully Bates, but there was no indication whether this name was that of the victim or the murderer. Captain Sakagami turned the matter over to the Japanese police, who, lacking witnesses, suspects, or motives, have not come up with an answer.
Damn. When was this?
89
Ah,
in our lifetime.
that's with a
Especially when you
sword.
think like Cutlass, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yar, it was
Oh, you
pirates.
know
It was
what
that
I
Jack
mean?
Sparrow.
Oh wow, that's yeah, that's grim. That's a lash to the helm. That's badass. That is.
That is
That's
brutal.
metal as fuck. Um,
I kind of wonder in that case if the crew are missing, whether it was the crew that did it, like a mutiny.
yeah,
He pissed everybody off. I don't know.
does sound a bit like that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about ghost ships because I want to save that, or else I'll run out of content for the episode.
Yeah, should we do some weird news?
Yeah. Have you got anything? Do you want me to go
I
first? What do
do.
you want
You
to
go.
do?
You can go first though.
Okay. I've got one that I apparently bookmarked and then swiftly forgot because I found it accidentally earlier when I was scrolling through my tabs. Um, So we'll go with that one first. Yeah. So this is from Coast to Coast AM,
Yeah.
and the headline is "Demonic Possession and Black Magic Blamed for Bizarre House Fire in Britain."
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know how I saw this and then forgot about it because that's a pretty
yeah.
meaty headline. Uh, it's not a huge article, but it says in an eerie story out of England, a man claimed to be possessed by demons as he was being rescued from a house fire where he'd been practicing black magic. The bizarre incident, or bizarre as some people would say, came to light this week at a court hearing on the case. Reportedly, it occurred in October 22, when first responders were called to a blaze at home in Leeds. Firefighters arriving on the scene were undoubtedly taken aback when they entered the residence and discovered peculiar patterns drawn on the floor with a powder believed to be sugar or salt. The call only got weirder from there as rescuers subsequently met Amir Miraki, who lived at the home. Initially greeting them with a literal hiss, the man motioned to some bottles on the floor and warned the firefighters not to touch them as they were black magic. Miraki also explained to the astounded first responders that he had captured demons and he was already possessed and his life was over. The man was so adamant about his plight that he refused to leave the residence and had to forcibly be removed by firefighters.
Sorry, I'm just greeting them with a hiss. They just walk in the house like, hello. And the guy's just like, sorry, go on. That image tickled me.
No, I mean, it's kind of reminiscent of kind of a like what we do in the shadows or something, right?
Yeah, just
It's like a Matt Berry.
bat.
So, yeah, it just says an investigation into the incident led to the discovery of additional puzzling patterns throughout the house and multiple spots where fires had been started. Maraki's neighbor echoed his strange claims, telling police that the man referred to the bottles and referenced them being black magic. When they spoke outside, as first responders put out the blaze, ultimately arrested and charged with arson, the man pleaded guilty and was given a suspended sentence this week by a judge who cited a psychological report that attributed the incident to a mental health episode. So, hang on, that guy's still out there.
Yep.
So, hello, Mariki, if you're listening. We're not laughing at you. Andy is quite a lot. I take this very seriously.
But yeah, please don't do anything bad or untoward, or please come on the show.
Yeah. Oh, but to be honest, so don't want to like be the downer or anything, but now whenever I see articles like this, I instantly go to the whole Slender Man thing, and then I start to go, "This is a man that needs help." Like I
Yeah,
don't see the
exactly.
like I don't see the demonic possession. I'm like, no, no, this is someone that needs some a psychology evaluation or something. I don't know.
I kind of
Makes
see
me
it.
sad.
I kind of see it through the lens of how I look at a lot of folklore, because I think, it's the same over the years in a sense. It's an insight into people's mentality and mind. So whether it's this or whether it's people, sort of blaming changes in their children's behavior, which are neurological, on being changelings, it's kind of like it's a similar trait, using, channeling your breakdowns or your fears into folklore and magic and myth, I kind of see it as a continuation in that way.
Yeah. I kind of want to know more. Like I'm wondering like what he was trying to achieve with the black magic
Yeah,
before he set fire to the house. Like there must have been a purpose, surely. I wonder.
ask him.
Hmm. Anyway, yeah, that's that one.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Um,
sorry.
obviously Coast to Coast is a US website, which is why it says things like first responders, because we don't use that here, but
Well, my one is from the Mirror, and not quite black magic, although you could loosely tie it to that.
mirror,
Um,
mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? It's me.
uh, Brain Candy, Faces for Radio and Audio podcasts.
Hey, we
Uh,
were recently told on YouTube by an American lady. What? Hang on, no. What did she say? She said something about us being handsome bearded men, I believe. It
Yeah,
was like
yeah, actually.
It was like, history, ghost stories, and handsome bearded men. What's more to like? I'm like, I'll take that.
Flattery will
Whoever she
get
might
you
have been.
flattery will get you everywhere.
Send that lady a t-shirt.
Oh. So this one is from the Mirror, and hmm, Ozzy Osbourne exclaims, "Clone me," as his DNA is bizarrely sold to fans.
What?
Ozzy Osbourne has had his fair share of rather interesting stories over the years, but now the iconic rocker is flogging his own DNA to a handful of dedicated fans. In a bizarre move, the legendary rocker, who is no stranger to controversy, having bitten the head off a live bat while on stage, is now giving fans a chance to clone him should they wish to. The Prince of Darkness, who will next month perform a farewell show at Birmingham's Villa Park, is hoping that fans will purchase his DNA to ensure that he lives forever. In an unexpected move, the 76-year-old has teamed up with a drinks company in order to recycle him forever.
Wow.
Recycled Ozzy. Ozzy struck a deal with Liquid Death, and his DNA will be available in 10 limited edition iced tea cans, quite fittingly named Infinite Ozzy. The company,
Wait.
yeah,
Just remind you something. No, Karen, I'll find something. I'm going to find a clip that just reminded me of something.
fair enough. Um, his DNA will be available on 10 limited edition iced tea cans, quite fittingly named Infinite Ozzy. The company, known for selling canned water, said Ozzy Osbourne is one of one. We're selling his actual DNA so you can recycle him forever. In a promotional in a promotional trailer shared on their website, the Black Sabbath rocker was seen drinking from the cans while crushing them and placing them in a sealed container. Over the video, a voiceover said, "There will never be another Ozzy Osbourne unless you have his actual DNA." Introducing infinitely recyclable Ozzy by Liquid Death. These cans of low-calorie iced tea with B vitamins have each been drunk by Ozzy himself, and each contain a trace of DNA from Ozzy's saliva, yum yum, as well as his handwritten signature. Now, once technology and federal law permits, you can replicate Ozzy and enjoy him for hundreds of years into the future. Just imagine if you could bring back early 80s Ozzy. He can mow your lawn, perform at kids' birthday parties, or anything you want. So get your can of infinitely recyclable Ozzy. No, this is not a joke. Yes, these contain Ozzy's actual DNA. There are only 10 available. Act now. Each can was sealed in an airtight container to preserve the DNA. Speaking about the project, Ozzy exclaimed, "Clone me, you bastards!" Probably, "Clone me, you bastards!" Ahead of Black Sabbath show next month, Ozzy recently confirmed that Back to the Beginning will be available to live stream. Oh, good. For fans who struggle to get tickets. Blah, 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 blah. Just talks about his
And me.
career. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, just talks about the upcoming gig. He swears like about 6 times in one paragraph. Definitely Ozzy. Um, but yeah, that's it. As pretty much as far as it goes with the clone bit. But yeah, I thought that was pretty weird. I was a
Yeah.
massive Ozzy fan. I mean, I still do love Ozzy. I love Sabbath, but like in my mid to late teens, I was like massively into Ozzy. Like the first ever festival I went to was a 1 day Ozfest thing.
Do you know
Um,
what? I was about to say, I'm going to say something now, and I bet you were there,
Go on.
which was Ozfest 2002.
Yep.
So I was there too.
Excellent. Was that the one with Tool and
Tool, Drowning
lot?
Pool, System of a
Yep.
Down. System
Yep.
of a Down, the speaker system fell down, nearly killed the
Yep.
drummer.
Yep. Um, Lost Prophets. Um,
Don't talk about them.
Slayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I was there. I love
Trying to
how you
think.
like. I just knew Andy was going to be there. Yeah, I was there. That was my first one. That
Yep.
was my first one.
Well, I was going to say it before you said my first thing, and yeah, it has to be
Yeah.
because that was the last Ozfest. Because
Yeah,
then it
because
became
then
download.
download. But then what? A few downloads later, the first time it became a 3 dayer, you had Ozfest in the middle. They brought it back for that 1 year. I also went to an Ozfest in the O2 1 year they did, which was quite fun. But
But anyway, I'm glad that you said it was about, spit from him drinking, because initially, when you said it, I was thinking it might have been more like this. I'm hoping this is the right clip.
I also leave you this liquid nitrogen cooled cylinder of my hyperviral sperm in case your lesbian lifestyle one day wears out and you wish to raise an army of geniuses. Surely.
So, I'm going to do another weird news.
Do it.
Uh, I'm hoping this is the right article because I had to quickly Google the topic and this is what's come up. So this is from the Economic Times.
Ooh.
I know, it sounds like proper, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, get you being all proper and.
Not only that, it's from the English edition. um, so the headline is 23 Soviet troops turned to stone by aliens. CIO memo unearths Cold War mystery.
I've heard of this, but I can't recall any of it really. So,
That's good. I mean, it's a little bit old. I've been sitting on this one because there's been so much good stuff to talk about lately. But yeah, a single page CIA report has gone viral, reviving one of the most startling claims of the Cold War that Soviet soldiers were allegedly turned into stone following an encounter with an unidentified flying object. The incident, believed to have occurred in 1989 or 1990, was first detailed in a 250-page KGB file obtained by the CIA after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 91. The document summarizes coverage by Canadian Weekly World News and Ukrainian newspaper Holos Ukraini, I want to say. Apologies, Ukraine. Not done one of those yet. It describes what it calls a horrific picture of revenge on the part of extraterrestrial creatures, a picture that makes one's blood freeze. According to the KGB file, a unit of 25 Soviet troops was conducting training drills near a military base in Ukraine, or possibly Siberia, depending on the source, where they spotted a low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer overhead. One of the soldiers launched a surface-to-air missile at the object, reportedly striking it and bringing it down. But what happened next left survivors in shock. It fell to Earth not far away, and 5 short humanoids with large heads and large black eyes emerged from it, the report claims. Survivors told officials that the beings quickly regrouped and merged into a single object that acquired a spherical shape. Moments later, the sphere emitted an intense burst of light, and in a few seconds, the spheres grew much bigger and exploded by flaring up with an extremely bright light. At the very instant, 23 soldiers who had watched the phenomena turned into stone poles, the file states. Only 2 soldiers reportedly survived the incident, shielded by shade that protected them from the full force of the flash. The KGB is said to have transported the petrified remains of the 23 soldiers and the wrecked spacecraft to a secret base near Moscow. There, Soviet scientists determined that the soldiers' molecular structures had been altered and now resembled limestone. The weapon or energy used in the explosion was said to be beyond the comprehension of existing science. Yeah, I mean, it goes on. But there's like a skeptic's way and stuff. We don't need skeptics here.
yeah, I heard about that one ages ago. I cannot remember where from, but
Was it the Economic Times? I know you're a big fan.
probably I'm a big fan. Got my
Did the Daily Mail probably quoted them?
oh, star mate. Right. Yeah, I guess that is about it from us, unless you got anything else to.
No, I've got some other stuff, but we'll save that for another day.
No worries. Yeah. Well, hope you've enjoyed this AfterWyrd with us. And anything else to add?
Don't blame the owls.
Don't blame the owls. That's the one.